Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about narcissistic entitlement. What exactly is narcissistic entitlement? Well, this is what narcissists think they can do, all right? They feel they're entitled to do whatever they want to do. That's all part of narcissistic entitlement. See, narcissists are not fair, they're not partial, they're not respectful. In the beginning, they appear to be, okay? And this is where they try to fool you because they could come off as very, respectful and very humble. But that is all a mask. That is all a front. Because deep down, narcissists feel entitled to everything. And I'm going to get into explaining this narcissistic entitlement. So let's get into it. Number one, narcissists, they feel entitled to talk to you any which way. This is one of the ways you're going to be able to spot a narcissist is in the tone of how they talk to you. All right. Now, we're not talking about the love bombing stage. This could be a different scenario where you're dealing with a family member or you're dealing with somebody in business. And the way they talk to you is they talk down to you or they have contempt for you. The tone is very, nasty, rude, wicked. They feel like you're beneath them and they have a right to talk to you any which way. That is part of narcissistic entitlement. What else is part of narcissistic entitlement? Being able to do whatever they want to do, okay? Like many narcissists will sit there and say, nobody tells me what to do, or I can do whatever I want, all right? Well, you could do whatever you want if you're single. But if you're in a exclusive relationship, no, you can't do whatever you want, okay? You made a commitment to somebody and you have to abide by the person's boundaries. But narcissists have narcissistic entitlement where they feel they can do whatever they want, come and go as they want, and they don't have to answer to anybody. But if you do it, they have a problem with it, okay? Because there's always a double standard with the narcissist. They could talk to you anyway, you devalue you, put you down, but if you do it to them, they go into a whole tizzy, all right? They may start yelling and screaming. They may go into a silent treatment because they could dish it out, but they can't take it, all right? So this is all part of the narcissistic entitlement. They feel entitled to everything. What's more of narcissistic entitlement? Narcissists feel entitled to take anything that's yours. They come in your house, they open your drawers, they open your closet, they feel they could touch anything, all right? They have narcissistic entitlement. They feel that they're entitled to whatever you own. They also feel they're entitled to your money, all right? So when narcissists get with you, let's say you get together with a narcissist, let's say you've accumulated money because you've worked all these years and a narcissist gets together with you, they feel entitled to whatever you have worked for your whole life. And now they're coming into the mix and they feel entitled to it. They feel entitled to take it, use it, build a business out of it, use it towards themselves. And this is all part of narcissistic entitlement. They want to spend your money, but they want to save their money, okay? Or use their money on themselves or spend on themselves. This is all part of narcissistic entitlement. More narcissistic entitlement is the fact that they feel entitled, if they're married, not to have to take care of the kids. That's your job. Narcissists feel entitled to not help out with the children, not worry about feeding the children, not dealing with the hard things with the children when they're sick, taking them to a doctor, dealing with teachers and teacher conferences. They're going to give you weaponized incompetence. They're going to say, I can't do that. You do that better than me. And then what's going to happen? You're going to end up doing everything, okay? And that narcissist is just going to kick back on the couch, all right? This is their narcissistic entitlement. They feel entitled. They don't have to get their hands dirty or help out with the hard things with the children. Children are work, period, dot, end of story. All of you that have children know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you deal with a narcissist, all of that responsibility is going to fall on you because the narcissist, number one, is lazy. And number two, they feel entitled to not have to do it, or they use weaponized incompetence so that you end up doing it and they could sit there and do nothing. This is all part of narcissistic entitlement, all right? So they could talk to you whatever way they want. They feel they could do whatever they want. They feel they don't have to help out with the duties in the house or help out with the children, okay? This is all part of narcissistic entitlement. They feel entitled. More narcissistic entitlement, road rage, okay? When narcissists feel that they own the road, where they feel they could cut anybody off, they could cut the line, all right? They could speed, they could ride on your bumper and almost cause an accident. That's narcissistic entitlement. They're not respecting the road, they're not respecting you, they're not respecting human life, okay? And they put people in danger. So, but they feel entitled. They feel entitled to be able to drive any which way, all right? More narcissistic entitlement is when you go out and the narcissist feels that they should get preferential treatment. They deserve the best table in the house. They deserve the best food in the house. They may complain about the food. They may tell the waiter or waitress, this is no good. And they feel that they deserve, special treatment, all right? Special treatment, narcissistic entitlement. They don't feel they have to wait on lines. They feel they could talk to the wait staff any way they want to talk to them, all right? More narcissistic entitlement. Now, I'm going to get into more narcissistic entitlement. Let's take the covert narcissist. Their narcissistic entitlement is to dismiss you and treat you like you're nothing, ignore you, pretend they don't hear you, okay? That is part of their narcissistic entitlement, to belittle you, make you feel like you're nothing. They don't feel like they have to respect you, okay? And they do it deliberately to try to show an air that they're better than you and have that narcissistic entitlement, all right? That's very typical with the covert narcissist. Now, take an overt or malignant narcissist with narcissistic entitlement. They feel that they could rage out on you. They feel entitled to be able to break things when they get angry, or to throw things, or to put their hands on you. That's part of their narcissistic entitlement, is to get loud, to get boisterous, to get violent, all right? That's part of their feeling of narcissistic entitlement, and to treat you any which way they want. Not today, Satan, because you respect yourself and you're not going to let anybody treat you in that manner. Anybody starts to rage out and it gets you to a point of fear or violence, you have to get out of the relationship. You can't even sit there and contemplate it. You have to get out, because that's the tip of the iceberg of many bad things that will come down the line. First, it starts with a push. Then it starts with a shove. Then it's a slap. Then it's a punch. And then they knock your lights out, okay? So don't wait for the end, all right? But all of this is part of narcissistic entitlement. The narcissist mentality of, well, I could do what I want and nobody tells me what to do. What is more narcissistic entitlement? Narcissists feel they don't have to follow the rules. They feel they could do what they want, all right? They could break the rules. So narcissists don't follow the rules. That's why a lot of narcissists are criminals. They don't follow the rules. They feel entitled to be able to steal, all right? More narcissistic entitlement, entitled to be able to rob people, to steal from people, to take from them in their home, or take out of their bank accounts, or use their credit cards or something like that. That's more of their narcissistic entitlement. What's more narcissistic entitlement? The fact that the narcissist feels that they could talk behind your back, rip you up, gossip about you, smear you, They could creep on you. They could talk to other people in inbox on social media. They feel that they're entitled to they're able to do that and they're entitled to do that. All right. Because they feel they're more clever than you. So because they're more clever and you don't know what they're doing, they feel a certain entitlement. They're able to do these things. Okay. Again, you guys, it comes down to respect. They have no respect for the relationship. They also have no morals and values. So they are not held to any type of code of behavior. They feel they can come, go, do what they want, and they don't answer to you. They don't answer to anybody unless they have to answer to them. They don't even answer to God, all right? That's why they're such sinners. And, if they don't repent, you know what happens to them, okay? So all of this is part of the narcissistic entitlement. What is another part of the narcissistic entitlement? They feel entitled to be able to withhold information, that they're able to lie by omission, not tell you everything. Oh, I'm not going to tell you because I know how you get. They feel that they're entitled to do that, all right? There is no transparency with a narcissist. They hide things, they lie about things, and they feel entitled to do it because they feel that if they can, they will do it, all right? Like I said, they don't stand by any kind of code of ethics, all right? There is no ethics when it comes to narcissists. Their code of ethics is what benefits them. That's their code of ethics. So this is why it is impossible to deal with a narcissist, because they won't compromise. They won't abide by your boundaries. They won't abide by the rules, all right? They want to do what they want to do. And you're going to be sitting there struggling with them. And what are they going to do? They're going to gaslight you. They're going to confuse you. They're going to call you crazy, which is gaslighting. They're going to say that you make a big deal out of everything. They're going to say that you are always nitpicking when it's them that's nitpicking, all right? So they're going to downplay anything that they do and make you feel like you're wrong to even question them on it, all right? What a lot of them will do is they'll say, well, what about you? What about what you do, okay? See, they won't take the accountability. They won't own what they're wrong. But what they're going to do is they're going to flip the blame and they're going to start blaming you. So typical of narcissists is to just start blaming you. They feel entitled to be able to put the blame on you. That's part of that narcissistic entitlement to treat you any which way. This is why you've got to respect yourself. You've got to know the game. You've got to be able to spot the narcissist mind tricks. And when you see these things, you have to be like, not today, Satan. You have to disengage from the narcissist. Like I did a reel on how to shut up a narcissist. You know how you shut up a narcissist? You just totally cut them off right in the middle of whatever they're trying to do to you. Let's say they're gaslighting you or they're blatantly lying to you. You just turn your back and walk away, okay? That's your subtle, signal to that narcissist. I'm not even going to listen to this. I'm not even going to listen to this. I'm not going to engage with this. I'm out. I'm out. You just walk away right in the middle of it, and they're going to be sitting there with their mouth open because you're showing them that you see their game, and you're not going to be sucked into going back and forth with the narcissist because that's what they want. They want you to defend yourself. They want you to go back and forth with them. But when you just cut them off cold and just walk out on them, they know that you're no nonsense and you're not going to tolerate their bullshit. All right. So this is all, how you deal with a narcissist. Now let's talk about narcissistic entitlement when it comes to divorce. When it comes to divorce, narcissists don't just split things down the middle where you could just go to a mediator and say, okay, this is what we accumulated during the marriage. We're going to split it down the line, right? No, hell no, not with a narcissist. They're going to say, I want the house, I want the kids, I want the money, because of that narcissistic entitlement. They feel that they're entitled to more than they are. But that's where you have to get the law behind you, all right? They could say whatever they want to say, but according to the law, they're only entitled to half of what they accumulate during the marriage. So don't be, intimidated by these narcissists when they sit there and they start to threaten you. Oh, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the kids. I'm going to take the house. They could say whatever they want, all right? But that's not the law. And that won't hold water in a court. So you have to have good legal representation and, be ready to fight them for whatever they come out and throw out in that courtroom. So all of this is their entitlement, entitled to take more than they deserve. See, narcissists, they don't respect other people. The only people they respect are people that they have to respect. Let's say their boss or something like that, because they need to keep the job. So they have to abide by certain rules of the job. Or, they respect certain people that they need in their life because they have to, because they know that these people will walk out on them and they need them. But other than that, if the narcissist doesn't need you, they're going to treat you any old way, and they feel that narcissistic entitlement to talk to you any which way, do whatever they want to do, leave the house a mess if they feel like leaving the house a mess. They feel like you'll clean it up, all right? They feel like they could put you down and talk to you and devalue you. This is where all boundaries come into play, you guys. This is where you got to cut that narcissist. Like when they start putting you down or telling you, you're this, you're that, or blah, 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 blah. The way you handle that is not to go back and forth with the narcissist, because that's not going to get you anywhere. They're not going to even listen to you. It's going to get you heated and it's going to exhaust you, all right? You have to just be like, listen, until you learn to talk to me in a respectful manner, you and I are not going to be talking. All right. You and I are not going to be talking. This is how you respect yourself. You're letting that narcissist know that you're not going to engage with them unless they're respectful to you. You've got to be no nonsense with a narcissist, or they will walk all over you and they will keep pushing that goalpost. Narcissists have to be kept in line. All right. They have to be kept in line. And if you don't have, those boundaries up, and the narcissist doesn't need you, the narcissist is going to run with it. They're going to run with it. Half these narcissists are doing whatever they want because people are afraid to leave. They either can't leave because of financial reasons, or they're afraid of what the narcissist will do because the narcissist feels entitled to be able to threaten you, okay? This is why you have to have your own strength and prepare yourself so that that narcissist does not have any control over you, all right? You've got to have your own thing so that that narcissist can't hold anything over you. So you guys, this is all how the narcissist is. They're completely exhausting. They are completely exhausting because they're just not respectful of anybody that they don't have to be respectful of. And the longer you're with the narcissist, the worse it is. The greater the narcissistic entitlement becomes because they're used to you. They feel you're not going anywhere. So they feel entitled to be able to do what they want. They feel entitled to be able to creep and disappear and ghost on you because they feel that you're not going anywhere. When a narcissist feels you're not going anywhere, they're going to run you down, okay? That's why, as hard as it is, you've got to have those boundaries in place and be like, listen, you do that again, you and I'm not going to be here. Period. Dot. End of story. I'm not going to be here. All right. Or you're going to have to hold something else, some other consequence, so that they know that they can't play with you. All right. See, the problem is so many people sit there and they say to the narcissist, you better not do that again. You better not do that again. And then there's no consequences. So the narcissist just feels like you're a big bag of wind. They don't take you seriously. And this is how they test you too. And they keep going and going and going and going and pushing the goalpost, all right, till you finally snap and you can't take it anymore. And that's where the narcissist gets blindsided when you walk away, because they never thought that you would ever have the strength to walk away. But victims get to a point where they just can't take it anymore. This is what happens. They just can't. Everybody reaches their limit. And that's when the narcissist gets cooked, all right? That's when people walk away and don't want to be bothered with the narcissist because they overplayed their hand, all right? And that's all because of the narcissistic entitlement. They overplay their hand and feel that they could do whatever they want, all right? Narcissists are very greedy. Nothing is enough. Nothing satisfies these people. So they want. They feel entitled to more, more, more. It's like if you bought the narcissist an expensive gift, let's say for their birthday, they wouldn't even appreciate it. They would want something better the next time, okay? They wouldn't appreciate what they have. Now they expect more and more and more and more, all right? So this is all narcissistic entitlement. So I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the video. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askgaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. If you're confused, you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist, what kind of narcissist you're dealing with, and you need clarity in how to deal with this person, check out that phone coach link in the bio. Also, my YouTube, over 7,500 videos at the Game Exposed podcast. There's a lot of information, a lot on covert narcissists and about the discard on my YouTube channel at the Game Exposed podcast. TikTok is the Game Exposed, and Facebook, Instagram is the Game EXP 123. And have a great day, you guys.